of the biggest challenges that financial advisors face is not only how to build a successful and relevant social media strategy, but also how to implement that strategy effectively. So in this module, what I want to do is talk to you about how to approach your unique social media strategy and some tips for implementing it successfully. Now, to start with, it's really important that you reflect on your unique practice as an advisor. I've created this model, and I've talked about it in other modules as well, but this model I call the 3 C's of social media: connect, convert, continue. It is so critical that you evaluate your practice to identify the gaps or the opportunities for you to leverage social media. Do you need help prospecting more strategically, networking more efficiently? Do you need help identifying more relevant referral opportunities? Would you benefit from gathering intelligence that would help you to book more meetings and close more sales? Or do you just need a system that keeps you better connected with your existing clients so that when they enter into new life events, you're aware and you can reach out proactively? So this really is the critical first step. And that's why you have access to the social media assessment tool that lets you evaluate your practice. Now, once you know the areas, certain strategies are simpler to implement than others. Prospecting and referrals, they're very tactical things that you need to do to gather information. The one that sometimes is the most challenging is marketing. And often that's also the most popular strategy that advisors are trying to implement. So here's first of all, I'll start with this quote that I want you to take to heart. Social media marketing, it's about people, not products. You almost have to take your entire traditional approach to marketing and throw it out the window when it comes to the world of social media. So when I think of what traditional marketing or traditional communication looks like for an advisor, typically it's this. We have hundreds of brochures and all sorts of content that we share that is product focused, but all of the different solutions that we have available. And so when we approach social media, we think to ourselves, okay, how do I write a blog about life insurance? Or how do I tweet about disability insurance? Or how do I create some sort of discussion around casualty insurance? Whatever it is, we're so focused on the product, we think that that's what we need to deliver to our followers and our fans and our connections. We lose sight of the key there, which is that word connection, the relationships. You really need to take this entire model of how you've approached communication and turn it on its ear. So rather than focusing on products, here's what I would like you to be focusing on. Rather than you being at the center of this model and your products being all around you, you have to put your client at the center of the model and think about all of the different characteristics, all of the different features that make them who they are. So you have to put your ideal client, ideally, in the middle of this and think about who they are, what they care about. Are they a parent, a spouse, a homeowner, a mortgage holder? Are they the protector of their family, the decider, the educator, the provider? There's all sorts of descriptions and definitions that you could apply. But this is really step one, and it'll be different for each of you. But then it's with this vision for communication in mind that we can now start to create a more effective social media strategy. So as an example, I'll dig just a little bit deeper here. Let's just take one of these characteristics. So homeowner. So we have a homeowner in mind. So now how can we identify content, ways of engaging and sharing and connecting with somebody through Facebook, through Twitter, through LinkedIn that's meaningful? Well, let's think about what it means to be a homeowner. What are the different concepts that you could share information about? Well, some things are simple. They're not related to your products. Having a budget, right? Most advisors don't get paid to share tips on a budget, but that's just a nice little nugget of information that is valuable. Lawn care tips, Well, certainly you're not necessarily an expert on lawn care, nor are you trying to be, nor are you holding yourself out to be. But if you can become an aggregator of useful information, just providing a link, pointing them to a valuable resource, now you become what I refer to as a trusted advisor. And I'm not sure if you've ever read a great book called The Trusted Advisor. They talk about how to move from being just a product salesperson to the status of a trusted advisor, where clients come to you with questions about anything and everything. They want to buy a house. They want you to refer them to a realtor, or they reference to a great restaurant or a hall for booking a wedding. All sorts of questions people have. When they really trust you and respect you and see you as credible and reliable, they come to you for all sorts of things, and you just become that much more important and integral to their life. So that's what you can sort of become. Dabbled in here, of course, is your ability to talk about solutions that are relevant to them. As a homeowner, you need to protect your income so you don't lose your home. That's certainly something you can talk about. Protecting your property from break-ins. Sure, you can talk about buying insurance, but maybe you can provide a link to a security blog, sharing a tip on how to keep your windows more secure. There's so many different things that you can share that become valuable, so that people don't get tired of seeing your posts showing up in their Facebook newsfeed, for example, always talking about their need to buy insurance. Eventually, that grows tiresome. But if you can look at them as a human being, as a person with different needs and different requirements, you can start to become a really valuable asset in connecting with them on an ongoing basis. So this is what I encourage you to do in building your strategy. Think about who your clients are, what they care about, and all of these non-product focused ways of communicating and sharing insight. So then what you want to do is to create a system for yourself where you sit down once a week, once every couple of weeks, once a month, whatever works for you. Spend a half hour or an hour to look for content that you can share. So look for those third-party blogs and articles related to, as the example I shared, lawn tips or security tips or whatever it is, finding interesting content to share. Yes, of course, number 2 says we need industry-related content. We can't lose sight of where your expertise lies. So you do want to find relevant content to share. Of course, there's always the need to create useful and relevant content of your own. That could be writing your own blog. It could be sharing a tip, a hint, something you stumbled across working with another client. And the last point there is you want to intermingle all of this content, this useful information, with things that humanize your engagement, things that are more personal. You, your family, things you've done, things that are humorous, things that are engaging. And it's sharing this variety of interaction that really allows somebody to connect with you on multiple levels, but at the same time ensures that they don't grow tired of seeing your posts showing up in their newsfeed and in discussion boards. So this is how I invite you to approach a social media strategy. Focus on who your clients are, what they care about, and become an aggregator of useful and relevant information that touches on a wide variety of things that go on in your clients' lives.